ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night Ignition. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined again this week by our special guest commentator. He is one half of your JWF Defiant commentary team and the JWF Defiant champion, Blake Tanner. Welcome back to the booth.
Thanks again very much, Silver Spoon. Like I said last week, wish it was under better circumstances, but I am here to deliver all of your quality commentary needs while our regular commentator and captain of this ship is healing.
That is right, and I've been told that later tonight we will have a big update regarding Captain Tibbs' status after that vicious assault on his life last week. But for right now, we have got a, Blake,
Is that...
I'm a little bit confused because ever since we've been out here, the men known as Bananas in Pajamas, former JWF Tag Team Champions, have been sitting in the ring, and to be honest with you, I thought they were just hanging out before the show, but the show started and they hadn't left. What the hell's going on?
No, they're still here, and it looks like they're asking for a microphone, Sills.
Great.
Are we allowed to do that?
I don't think we are, but I mean, at the end of the day, like Lawrence Whitney brought up last week, without Captain Tibbs here, without a captain of this ship, it appears that the wild boys of the JWF feel free to do whatever the hell they want. So it appears that we're not going to be going down to the ring to hear from the men known as Bananas in Pajamas, unfortunately. JWF Universe. It has been quite a busy few months for you guys, so please allow us to reintroduce ourselves. My name is Johnny Bananas, and this is Joseph P. Pajamas.
JPP.
That's right, and we are Bananas in Pajamas.
Hey, we would all like to humbly welcome you to the first official Bananas in Pajamas protest, baby. That's what everyone's doing right now, right?
Protest.
That's right, folks. Old Johnny and I have come out here to fully prepare to set up shop and stay in the middle of this ring until we get that respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, we D-E-S-E-R-V-E deserve.
That's what that spells.
Yes, because in case you Mamadukes in the audience have forgotten, old Johnny and I are part of the third tag team in JWF history to hold gold not once, but twice.
Two times.
And why don't we look at the other men who have held that accolade for a second, Johnny? Yeah.
That's right, because first up, you got the VWO, a tag team that commentary just loves to refer to as the best tag team in JWF history, really putting them over, when in reality, I don't think I've seen them team up in years. And then, of course, we've got the Golden Boys themselves, Blake Tanner, Scotty Moore, the BS, two men who are now running the show practically. They got JWF Defiance on lock and Captain Tibbs squished under their thumb. And where does that leave us? The third team to have held the gold twice. Where does that leave Bananas in Pajamas? The forgotten sons of the JWF Tag Team Division.
Yeah! Hey! You know, they might as well start calling us the Forgotten Sons.
Wait, no, hold on, Joey. No, we cannot. No, please, no one call us. We cannot be called the Forgotten Sons. The real racist.
Wait. What's wrong with the Forgotten Sons?
It was that guy. They controlled their narrative too hard, and now they've been like kicked out of every. We cannot be.
That guy and those people. Oh shit!
Yeah.
You know what? No more Forgotten Sons with Bananas in Pajamas.
That's right, baby. And this is our big protest. Oh, well, listen to that, Blake. That is the sound of two men I know you are very familiar with. One of the big tag teams to come out of JXT, known as Big Fisted. Tekken Mike, and then, of course, Vlad Tankman. And, Bud, I mean, last week on JWF Defiance, you defended your title against Tekken Mike. You know these men are nothing to mess with.
Absolutely, Tekken Mike, that punch of his, it could knock you out in less than a second. Vlad Tankman, a great old school style wrestler. I mean, these guys, they've made just such a functioning tag team out of what was once dysfunction. And I think Bananas and Pajamas better watch out.
That's right, looks like they are not. Looks like the men known as Big Fisted coming out to the ring, hopefully putting an end to this protest. And it looks like Vlad Tankman has grabbed a mic. So why don't we hear what the funky Russians gotta say?
Hey, Joey Pants, Banana Guy, you two are being far too hard on yourselves, you know? You know, right? You two have gotten all the respect that you deserve. In fact, old Tekken Mike Big Fisted and I, well, we really respect you. Because it is thanks to you that we've actually decided to become professional wrestlers. So you know what? Good on.
Hey, okay, there we go. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Mr. Tanked Man. There you go, folks. You see that right there? That right there is what respect looks like. Why don't y'all take a picture? It'll last longer.
Exactly, like you said, RSPCETK. Yes, like you said, the two of you are two-time tag team champions, possibly even future Hall of Famers. I say that as a Tankman special. Yeah, all right. I'm down with this. I'm down with what this guy's putting down.
This dude gets it. He gets it. He really does.
Yeah. And Mike and I said that if you two could do all of that with literally zero talent and nothing but the biggest mouths of having in wrestling, well then, surely there's hope for two of us, eh?
Okay, you talked too long. You were good in the beginning. You was very good in the beginning, but then you talked too long. You had us, you were doing great, and then unfortunately, you just kept talking.
Okay, well, since I've already done the talk too much, how about I talk just a little bit more? How about I talk about what we will do this Wednesday on Defiance? Because those golden boys known as the BS that you say so much about have decided to give Big Fistin opportunity on big stage, and well, they let us choose our opponents, and unfortunately for us, the VWO are a bit busy, so instead we decided to go with what was third best. This Wednesday, Bananas in Pajamas are going toe-to-toe with the new kids on the block, Big Fisty.
Oh, well, Blake. I mean, Tibbs may be gone, but if you want to talk about a great match being made for Defiance, that is an absolute blockbuster matchup as the tag team known as Big Fisted go toe-to-toe with Bananas in Pajamas, and I cannot wait to see that matchup.
Oh, neither can I. This is one of the reasons that I was so excited when Big Fistin came up to the main roster. When we merged the rosters, and now Big Fistin can really just do what I think every other tag team in this division wants to do, and that is punch Bananas in Pajamas in the mouth.
That is right, and it looks like they have put an end to that protest. Bananas in Pajamas sheepishly leaving the ring. But if you want to talk about other great Defiant matchups, why don't we talk about the J1 tournament, which is going to see Mark Plays take on Randall Crowley, and then, of course, Chuck Gibbons going against the Captain's Champion himself, the man known as Crush Atlas. And let me tell you something, Blake, Crush has been on an absolute roll lately.
Oh yes, you said it, Sills. Crush Atlas, it seems that he cannot be stopped right now, and he is doing some justice to the Captain's Championship. He has been one of the, I will dare say, possibly the best Captain's Champion we've had in a long time, if ever.
That is right, and of course, though, he has got a big wall in his way in the form of the man's man, Chuck Gibbons. I mean, if you want to talk about former JXT champions, Gibbons was an absolutely phenomenal former JXT champion. He is a man who is impressed, and he's a man who's been waiting to get some gold back. But for right now, Crush Atlas is backstage with one of our top interviewers. So why don't we hear what he has got to say about Gibbons? And then, of course, that horrifying moment last week when AJ Steele interrupted his interview for an episode of Wrestle Wars. So I'm sure there's a lot on Atlas's mind. So why don't we hear what the champ has to say?
Hello everybody, Honeypot McReading Rainbow here, with a man who's got quite a lot on his mind lately. The JWF Captain's Champion, Crush Atlas. Now Crush, not only do you have quite the bout coming up in the J1 tournament against Chuck Gibbons, but also the man known as AJ Steele has made it clear that he is coming for your Captain's Championship. The JWF audience wants to know where your head is at.
I am one man with many targets. Many targets on my back, indeed, and to the man known as AJ Steele. I understand that you are upset with me. I understand that Crush may have crossed the line when I picked you up and unceremoniously dumped you through the set of your garbage radio show, and for that, I apologize. But just know that if you continue to test me further, that it will not be your set that gets destroyed. It will be your body, your spine. Every inch of you will fall under the weight of Atlas. And as for Chuck Gibbons, I must tell him that I have nothing but respect for him. You see, when I came into this company, he was the champion of JXT, and he set an example for every man who walked through that door. But this Wednesday, things are different, because Crush Atlas is...
Things are different, huh? How so, son? Because you got a championship and I don't? Because you've got a spot carved out for you every single week on the card, and what old Gibbons is gonna have to fight for table scraps, have to work for it? Let me remind you of one small detail you seem to be forgetting about, Crush. And it's this briefcase I've got right here. You know it. The cash in the bag briefcase, which gives me the opportunity to cash in on any champion of my choosing and force them to fight for their title whenever and wherever I want. It's how I won that precious JXT championship you mentioned, and who knows what championship I might cash in on next to win.
What are you insinuating?
Oh, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm downright saying that this Wednesday you need to watch your back, Atlas. And that pretty little championship of yours, too. Because this Wednesday, Chuck Gibbons has gold on his mind.
Well, Blake, I don't think I've ever seen a more blatant shot across the bow than the one the man's man, Chuck Gibbons, just made against our Captain's champion, Crush Atlas, which means we may see a title change this Wednesday.
It could very well be possible. The stakes of that match were already pretty high, but now they've been raised to an astronomical level for Crush Atlas. Chuck Gibbons is calling his shot, and you're going to have a must-watch on Defiance.
That is right. Of course, that cash-in-the-bag briefcase at any opportunity. I mean, like Scotty Moore mentioned last week, Scotty Moore cashed in at Wrestlepalooza, the main event. They called it the heist of the century. That cash-in-the-bag briefcase allows you to make your dreams come true as long as you know how to use it properly. But of course, unfortunately, Scotty Moore was not able to fight properly last week or this week due to a violent beatdown at the hands of the men known as the Whitney Family.
Yes, unfortunately, the Whitney family has grown in power and annoyance. They have attacked Scotty at every turn, and they don't seem to be letting up, which is something that we are going to have to deal with eventually.
Oh, wait, hold on. Blake, I hate to interrupt you there, but wait, what the hell? Look on the stage. That's the War Wizards, and they have just been unceremoniously dumped out onto the stage. They have been beaten down. They are bloodied, and they're unconscious. What the hell is going on?
Who would attack the War Wizards? Why is everybody getting attacked?
Oh, well, unfortunately, Blake, I think we have our answer. Listen to that music, the music of our JWF Tag Team Champions, Demon Inc., and they're just coming out and assaulting the War Wizards on the main stage. This is ridiculous.
I don't know what Demon Inc. even hopes to gain from right here. This is just wanton destruction and mayhem.
Every single tag team in the back has went toe-to-toe with Demon Inc., and they have been put down, and it looks like the newly reunited War Wizards have just been added to the list of victims of the men known as Demon Inc. Oh, and unfortunately, now their manager, Lawrence Whitney, coming out with the microphone. I gotta say, the War Wizards might be unconscious, but that might be the best. They may be in the best position in this arena right now because they don't have to listen to what this idiot's gotta say.
Exactly, I'm gonna send a text.
Another week down and another one bites the dust. You know, I am certainly enjoying this whole Tibbs-less era of JWF Ignition because it finally has allowed me to do what I've always wanted, and that's get the revenge that I've so sorely been earned. Revenge on Scotty Moore for betraying me, revenge on Legion for abandoning me, and now revenge on the War Wizards for failing me. And in case any of you in the back have ever found yourself in my little death note here, that's right, Daddy watches anime, just know that we're coming for you next. Because in this new JWF, there are no laws. There's only the Whitney family. But you know something? We are a fair and merciful lot of gods in this new world, and we want to give you all a fighting chance, so we're going to issue an open challenge. You see, Demon Inc. was supposed to fight those two numbskulls on Defiance, but now I don't think the War Wizards are particularly fit to compete. So, who wants ups? Huh? Who wants to go up against the best damn tag team this company's ever seen, huh? What? Nobody? Well, I guess that makes sense. No one ever really wants to lose, do they? Well, you know what? How about this singles division? Who wants to go toe-to-toe with my nightmare? The man who broke the unbreakable Scotty Moore, pinned your defiant champion into the mat at the Regal Rumble. Who wants to fight Ghazi? No one? Huh? No one wants next? What about the dominant, demonic Goliath known as Randall Crowley? No takers? Big Cyrus Crane, maybe? No? Nobody? Ah! Well, it turns out my theories have been all but true. That no one wants a piece of the Whitney family because no one wants to know what true fear feels like. And when you face one of us, or all of us, you will taste fear and you will find yourself embarrassed, entombed, and eviscerated by the most dominant group of men in this company's history. So, let me leave you all with this. Get well soon, Tibbs, but not too soon. Blake, looks like the man known as Lawrence Whitney is now just being able to turn this company into his proverbial playground. I mean, looks like he is now going against any men who wronged him in the back. Of course, you know the War Wizards were Whitney's former proteges, his former tag team that he managed, and apparently they were failures as he equated them, but in my opinion, I think they did just fine without Whitney by their side.
I have to agree. I would say even the War Wizards were getting better without Whitney at their side, but now something has to be done about this, Sills, and now that Tibbs not here.
Well, I will say, earlier tonight we said we will announce some news regarding Captain Tibbs, and let me tell you something. we have been, we can now have it confirmed. Tibbs made sure we can now say it live on air that next week, Captain Tibbs will be returning to the booth. The doctors say it is one of the most mystical, magical recoveries they have ever seen. They said it was similar to the rage-based recovery program that Robert Hill went through last year.
Well, if there's anybody else who could pull out a similar recovery, Sills, I would say that Captain Tibbs, he's got to be up there, right? That man has performed some miracles in his time.
That's right, and it looks like he is coming back to the booth next week, and there's one man who I know will be excited to hear that news, and that is, of course, the son of Captain Tibbs, the man known as Chuck, who is backstage with one of our top interviewers. So why don't we hear what the son of this company has to say?
Ladies and gentlemen, Don the Don McDonald backstage here with the man who has been on quite an investigation lately, the son of the owner of the JWF himself, Chuck Tibbs. Now, Chuck, we just received some exciting news earlier that your father, Captain Tibbs, will in fact be healthy enough to return to the commentary booth next week. How do you react to this exciting news?
Hell, you know, I gotta say, it brings a tear to my eye, McDonald. I mean, the show just hasn't been the same without my dad, you know? I mean, you've felt it. Everyone else has felt it. The JWF just isn't complete without my father in his place at the commentary booth. He's got to be the one calling the action. And any other man would have spent weeks laid up in that hospital after a vicious attack like that, struggling to even get out of bed. I mean, the specific injuries my dad sustained should have kept him out of actions for months. It possibly could have put him on the shelf for good, and yet he's standing now. He's getting ready to make his grand return after barely a week. 2 weeks, and he'll be back. And you know what? I gotta say, I've done a lot in that last week, and I'm gonna have quite the present for him. For that grand return of his, and well, I guess I may as well just announce it here for everybody. That present is the fact that I have found the man who attacked him. I found the lowlife scumbag that decided to ruin their own career by laying a hand on the glorious progenitor of the JWF, and next week I'm gonna bring him to light. I'm gonna show his face to the universe, and I'm gonna be his judge, jury, and executioner. Because there's one thing you don't do in this company, McDonald. There is one sacred right that you never trounce on, and that is that you don't lay a hand on Captain Tibbs outside of the ring.
Well, looks like some exciting news. Not only can Blake return to action next week and no longer having to split up commentary, we are also gonna see the man who attacked Captain Tibbs' justice can finally be delivered next week.
This is a weight off my shoulders, Sills. I have really enjoyed my time here on the commentary desk, but I gotta get out where I belong, and that is fighting in this battleground that we have found ourselves in with JWF, and I cannot wait to see Tibbs back. It is going to be a glorious return, and to finally see whoever did this put to justice.
That is right, but I mean, if you want to talk about big fights, you've had some big fights the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Hell, you've fought on every episode of JWF Defiance there has been, which is why they now call you the JWF Defiant Champion. And you have been issuing open challenge week after week, and I've been told that you are going to be heading to the ring right now, so hell, ladies and gentlemen, my co-commentator for the evening, Blake Tanner, is heading to the ring, and it looks like he's got something to say.
God, it has been many years since I felt like I do right now, everyone. Many years since I've held a singles championship without any feelings of guilt or remorse for who I am and what I had to do to win it. I mean, this time, it's pure. This time, I didn't force myself to become something that I hated. This Defiant Championship in my hand has actually forced me to become better. My opponents every week have forced me to become better than I was before every single time. And for once in my career, my success and my own personal health, both mental and physical, have found themselves in perfect alignment on the pathway to the top of this company. But no disrespect at all to my former opponents, the Titan, Tech, and Mike. But I think it's time that the JWF Defiant Champion had what I'd really like to think of as a real fight this Wednesday. A real fight with somebody in this company who knows what it means to fight for something special like this title. So once again, I am issuing my open challenge to any man in that locker room or any other locker room, because this belt has solidified one singular fact in my mind, and it is that I am right now the greatest professional wrestler in this company, and I'm willing to test that against any man, dragon, or god. So once again, I remind you that the Blake Tanner Open Challenge is happening this Wednesday, and someone's gotta step up, because someone's gotta...
Oh, ladies and gentlemen at home, Blake Tanner said that he is willing to test his theory that he is the greatest professional wrestler against any man, dragon, or god, but it looks like a god has answered the challenge, because the man known as Momoa Curry is walking down to the ring, staring down the JWF Defiant Champion before... Oh, looks like he is offering his hand, and that handshake is happening. I think it looks like this Wednesday, the main event of Defiance, Blake Tanner versus Momoa Curry. But, oh, look at this. Blake Tanner refusing to let go of that handshake, keeping Momoa Curry in place, and it looks like the avatar of Defiance has got something to say.
You know, Momoa, there are a lot of people who are upset to see you go, and... personally, I am among them. But professionally, when you announced your retirement, all I saw in my head was a countdown clock ticking away. A ticking clock. Until I got to have this very moment with you. Because in my mind, and from what I've seen, every single top guy in this company has gone toe-to-toe with the god of the JWF and earned his respect. Everyone from the Jebedick to the Dylan to my own best friend Scotty Moore has faced off against you, pinned your shoulders to the mat, and earned a victory against the god of the JWF. But not me. I've not been afforded that. And it's not because I deserved it. I didn't deserve it. Not last time we faced each other. But this Wednesday, I know I'm going to beat you. Call it arrogance, call it whatever you want, Momoa. But I have something to prove this Wednesday, and I don't have a lot more time to prove it. I'm not gonna just lay down for Momoa Curry's retirement tour. Because in case you haven't paid attention, sir, you have stepped up. And that means that you are gonna be next to get stomped on.
Ladies and gentlemen at home, it would appear that Blake Tanner has issued quite the ultimatum for Momoa Curry this Wednesday on Defiance, and that is that Blake Tanner needs to prove himself. And Blake, welcome back to the booth. I mean, yeah, you are correct. Every single time you have faced Momoa Curry in a ring, you have yet to get that pinfall, and I gotta say, you have got quite a big hill to climb this Wednesday, though.
I do, Silves, and I'm not gonna dispute that at all, but it is, for the first time in my career, in my life, a hill that I know I can climb. And I'm so ready.
That is right. This Wednesday in the main event, Blake Tanner going toe-to-toe with Momoa Curry. We are going to see Bananas in Pajamas versus Big Fistin. Chuck Gibbons crush Atlas. And then, after her epic victory last week against the woman known as Tiffany, the #1 contender, the woman known as Skilla is going to be going toe-to-toe with our champion, Phoenix Driver. And you got to think, if Skilla can defeat the champ, it could change that entire landscape of that matchup at Wrestlepalooza.
Absolutely, Sills. We've only got a few weeks left until Wrestlepalooza, so every single match, everything that goes on everything that goes on Defiance is going to count towards changing the entire landscape of Wrestlepalooza. And I mean, we have a card that is can't miss.
That is right. And then next week's episode of Ignition also is going to be can't miss, because we are going to be hearing from the returning Scotty Moore after that vicious assault from the Whitney family last week. We are going to hear a very special episode of Wrestle Wars featuring Bananas in Pajamas, apparently, which, Blake, I'll be honest, I don't think I could think of a more irritating series of 3 individuals to be on a show than AJ Steele and Bananas in Pajamas.
Good Lord in heaven, how did this come to this?
But then, even more important, back in the booth, back where he belongs, will be the man known as Captain Tibbs, and he will be in attendance as Chuck Tibbs proudly announces to the world the man who attacked him and then brings that man to justice. But that's got to be next time on JWF Ignition. Until then, remember to support us at patreon.com/aloadofbs and pick up merch for your favorite superstars at merch.aloadofpurebs.com.
And thank you all for sticking with me on the commentary desk for the past couple of weeks. It's been an honor and a privilege, but I know we're all excited for Tibbs to get back in this spot.
That is right, but until next time, he's been Blake Tanner, I have been Silver Spoon, and this has been JWF Ignition, and we will see you next time.